Welcome to another N-Scale build video. This time I'll be showcasing how I add small details to structures to add an extra touch of realism. The model we'll be working with is a DPM kit, specifically the trackside transfer building. As you can see, I have this kit complete and painted, and it really wouldn't look out of place being added to a layout in its current form. However, with some simple additions, we can bring this building up to another level of realism. Here I've printed off some stock images of industrial buildings that I found online to use as inspiration. I'm going to be using a number of different parts, such as parts from detail kits, like this AC unit that comes in the Walther's roof details kit. I'll also use leftover parts from other kits, like these vents. And then some I'll just scratch build from materials like styrene. I prime most of these pieces whilst they're still in the sprue, just to make it a little easier. Then I can begin removing these selected parts that I want to use. Once everything has been removed from the sprues, any excess plastic needs to be removed before painting. I use my X-Acto knife for the large pieces and then smooth them off using a sanding stick. I've pre-painted these roof details with a light rust before top coating them with a variety of metallic paints. Vallejo are my go-to brand for paints, and this is what I'm using here. For the AC unit, I mixed this shade of light blue just to add some extra interest to the roof. Additionally, I go around the unit adding rust. Being on the roof, this unit spends its life out in the open exposed to the elements, and I wanted that to be obvious here. Adding rust to the top, I use one of my favourite methods, dabbing with a piece of makeup sponge. I find this works especially well for rust effects on large, mostly flat areas. For the majority of the roof details, I simply use superglue to fix them in place. For this skinny chimney, there's no substantial base portion to use superglue. So using a pin vise, I make a small hole in the roof, and then I just use liquid cement to keep it securely in place. I didn't end up using these particular vents on the roof, so instead I decided I would make some kind of wall-mounted fixture. I'm not sure what it's supposed to be or its purpose, but it should add some interest to this area of the structure. Continuing with this unknown object, I add a piece of styrene tubing to perhaps mimic ductwork or some kind of other pipe. Next, using brass rod, I'm adding conduit, which will then lead to some kind of power box. To create the power box, I cut a small rectangle from styrene sheet. Once painted, this should look much more convincing. Staying with the electricity theme, and again using styrene, I create these 3 electricity meters. Another styrene rectangle forms yet another power box, only this time I add an even thinner piece on top to give the illusion of an access door. Once all these parts have been primed, I paint them to give them their typical grey appearance. Just as with the backside, once the meters are installed, more conduit is added. Now moving on to the accessories. Things like these crates and pallets can be used to add life to the overall scene. Adding these details give the building a sense of purpose ensure that the building is still in use on your layout. This isn't always an important addition, but it can be nice to add lighting to your structures. Here I'm just going to be adding a single exterior light over these two workers that are standing on the dock. I have some very small LED lights that are easy to hide. It's unlikely that this light itself will ever be seen, so I'm just going to hide it under a metal canopy that I'll install. Once in place, I will glue the LED to the underside of the canopy. A quick test to make sure the LED works, and it's looking pretty good. The final step I'll be doing is adding signage. I'll be using a mixture of water slide decals as well as some paper signs. here's the final product. If you've enjoyed this video and want to see more, feel free to like and subscribe. As always, thanks for watching.